All right. Love that. Awesome. Awesome. I am David Wilson, Business Savage. Welcome to the pre-show of No Nonsense Market Domination here live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on Twitch, and live on Periscope Twitter. So thank you. Thank you. So I'm happy to be here, definitely, and I want to welcome you if this is your first time watching. So you're actually watching a radio show, which is pretty cool. So if this is your first time watching this radio show, welcome. You are behind the scenes checking us out. So thank you for that. If you're a returning watcher to the pre-show of No Nonsense Market Domination, welcome back. That's great. All right, let me make sure I do a couple of housekeeping things here, because we want to make sure we welcome for the first time to that the SAVVEE Show has been broadcast on the Build My Business Today Facebook page, so Facebook group. So if you're a member of that group, you know all about IBGR. Probably you know all about the talent. You know all about how we do things. So I don't know if I think one of the first to broadcast live in this group. So to all of you, welcome. It definitely is exciting to have you. All right. So if you're new to this, pre-show, this pre-show is the behind-the-scenes look of No Nonsense Market Domination before we go live, and we're going to be going live shortly. We're going to be going live in about 15 minutes or so. So this is where we do all of our sound checks. We do wait for my in-studio engineer to get here because he's late. Wait for, get all the sound together, get all the notes together, and what have you. This show today is going to be about the uniform. It's going to be about the uniform and why it matters. So the theme of this season is ReImagine You. ReImagine you, the business owner. ReImagine you, the entrepreneur. And in reimagining ourselves, we look at the different facets of ourselves, and we've been doing that all season. So this is season 5. We're almost to the end of season 5. We've been doing that all season, looking at mental health, physical health, looking at your purpose, different things like that. But now we are going to be looking at the uniform, what we put on every day, and it may not be what you think. We certainly touched on tech. We certainly touched on work-life balance. We touched on productivity. The entrepreneur is always learning. But today, and we're kind of funneling it all down to put it all together and really complete the reimagination of ourselves. So that's the whole goal. That was intentional. Oh, you're here. Okay. Well, welcome to the stage. My in-studio engineer. He'll get 2 introductions today. This one and the one during the show. Steve. Steve is in the building. So Steve Namin Eufemi, also known as SNY. SNY for short, because every cool guy has a nickname, right? Every cool guy has a nickname, right? Like that. All right. So if you look scrolling at the bottom the bottom there, you can subscribe to the No Nonsense Market Domination podcast. You can go to thebusinesssavage.com. You can subscribe there. All of the radio shows I do are turned into podcasts there. So you can download the podcast. You can listen to past episodes. You can also listen to past seasons if you want to. Big difference between like season 3 and season 5. I mean, it's a vast difference. Nobody got that. Okay. So I'm going to go. Oh, before we go, we want to thank our sponsor. Our season sponsor is NutriChamps. NutriChamps is where I get all of my savage nutrition to do things like squat 1,000 pounds, leg press 2,000 pounds, and deadlift 500 pounds. Pretty cool stuff there. But I get all my nutrition from these guys: vitamins, minerals, supplements, cleansers. Just go to nutrichamps.com. That's nutrichamps.com. I'll put it in the chat. nutrichamps.com. Yep. And you can use my code TheSavage1. TheSavage, the number 1. There you go. If you use that code TheSavage1 when you make your purchase, you're going to get free stuff. You're going to get discounts on your order. So check that out. nutrichamps.com. Use the code TheSavage1 after you fill up your shopping cart with as much stuff as possible, and then you can use that code. Okay. I'm going to go to Avatar, and we're going to do some sound checks now that Steve's in. Sound check, light check, and we'll do the light check. Light check looks good. We are connected downtown, yes? All right, sound check, stand by. Just going to go to Avatar here. We're still here, though. Check. All right, we're connected. Notes are here. All right, sound effects check. You're behind the scenes, folks. Most people don't get this type of access. So you are the lucky ones today. Sound checks are seem good. Video is good. We're good downtown. Stand by. About 10 minutes to live. 10 minutes to live. Okay, so I'm pretty excited about this particular show because I like talking about the uniform, because it's important, and I don't want to give away any of the thunder, but we're gonna dig into the why it's important, why we do, what we should be doing, and why we should be doing it, and then how all that's connected to the business owner, to the entrepreneur, you. So the mental effect the uniform has on us, the physical effect the uniform has on us, and then how to, I'm going to say this, I'm going to end up saying this again, but how to, it's really a branding play. The title is how to, what is the title? I don't even know. Stand out with a signature, right? So stand out with a signature, and that signature really kind of speaks to your brand. That just came to me. That's a better way to say it. Who speaks to brand? If you're new, if you've been here before on No Nonsense Market Domination, you've heard my shows before, you're familiar with what I'm doing now. If you're new, I come prepared every show with the notes that I prepare. I take notes, I brainstorm, and invariably something will come to me before the show kicks off, and I end up changing something. I end up changing. Yeah, I probably changed the whole show once when it was just but that's what, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, we have to be willing to take those types of risks, calculated risk, and actually be nimble to make those types of changes, especially if it's for the good of the bottom line, right? So that's really what we're doing. Now about 7 minutes to live now. 7 minutes to live. So if you want to stay connected with me on socials, you can go to allthingsdavidwilson.com. That's allthingsdavidwilson.com. Real simple. You can connect with me on the places that you're listening to me now on, as well as LinkedIn and Instagram. So just reach out, connect, like, share, and all that good stuff. That would be great. That'd be great. Let me tell you a little bit about IBGR. So IBGR, International Business Growth Radio. IBGR is by entrepreneurs for entrepreneurs. So we are a group of business owners with vast amounts of experience in different fields, and we've come together to deliver to you on this all over the world. So we're in over 82% of the world right now. We are broadcast, and we're just bringing a solid business education, business experience, business message to the entire world. So no matter what stage of business you're in, we can help you. And it's way cooler on the show when I say it. So there's a whole thing behind, no matter what stage of business you're in, and it's real. So you have to stick around and hear me say that. I'll say it in the beginning, but just because I say it in the beginning doesn't mean you can just leave and leave the show. Just stick around for the whole show. But that's really what it is. So we have folks from all over the world asking us questions, reaching out. There's mentoring programs. There's and we're growing. We're growing, and we just like any business are constantly evolving. We are constantly evolving. So come grow with us. So and I do this thing during the show. It's like come the come grow with us I'm giving you right now is kind of basic. The come grow with us that we'll get during the show is way it's cool. It's better than just the basic one. So make sure you stick around. We're gonna go live in about, I always get this wrong because it's not 4 minutes or so. 4 minutes to live. 4 minutes to live, right? Yeah, 4 minutes to live. Steve, my in-studio engineer, is never on camera. He hates the camera. He doesn't even like the microphone. But he's really good about like talking junk behind the scenes. And like so he'll catch me if I'm doing something wrong. He'll comment and say things you guys can't hear. But I'll let you know if he says something. All right, so we're almost there. Again, go to and landing page. So if you want to visit my landing page, don't leave here, but you can go to visit it after the show. IBGR.Network /David Wilson, David-Wilson. So IBGR.Network /David-Wilson. So if you go there, that's my IBGR. Is that right? Yep, that's my IBGR landing page, and you can go there and you can like stuff, and there's free offers, and that'll take you. It's all connected, right? It's all everything we do nowadays is connected. You can't run away from the internet, right? It's crazy. Okay, so we are about 2 minutes to live. 2.5 minutes to live. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be so you might be able to hear that. So that's actually the show going on. So I'm waiting for my cue. And we will be going live in, yes, 2.5 minutes. Right before we go live, I'm going to go to Avatar here. You'll still be able to hear me, but we'll actually be going live on the radio side. So you're going to be watching me do the radio show, which is pretty cool. So thank you for being here. Thank you to Facebook. Thank you to all, David Wilson, regular Facebook. David Wilson. So David Wilson, regular. All things David Wilson. Build My Business Today. And IBGR, all on Facebook. So thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you to IBGR YouTube and all things David Wilson YouTube. So we thank you. And we thank Periscope Twitter. And we thank our Twitchers as well. So we appreciate that. Awesome. So thank you. Once again, I am David Wilson, the Business Savage. Thank you for tuning in to the pre-show of No Nonsense Market Domination. We will be going to Avatar and we're going to be going live shortly. So let's have a great show. And we'll see you soon. Like really, like I'll see you soon once the Avatar comes back. All right, Steve, here we go. Yeah, I'm doing it now. Where is the no, where's the basic banner? Is it going? No, there it is. Okay. Thank you. Our team has over 7 decades of helping build business. 30 seconds to live. Let's grow together. 15 seconds. All right, let's have a great show. Here we go. Hey. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Guess what? I'm back. And we're ready to change the world just like before. So you ready? Good. Say my name. SAVVEE. Let's go. Yes. We love that. We love it. All right. Yes, I am David Wilson, the Business Savage. Welcome to No Nonsense Market Domination here on IBGR.Network. IBGR is by entrepreneurs for entrepreneurs. We're an internationally broadcast radio station to over 80% of the world. We help entrepreneurs in all stages, no matter if you are pre-startup, startup, you're in a growth stage, you experience hockey stick hockey stick growth. That's really, 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 really big growth. Right? You're slow and steady. Everything's going great. You're having a good time. You're having fun. You're making money. To, you know what? It's time to retire, and I want to ride a paddle boat in every ocean of the world. I don't know. I'm sure somebody wants to do that, but it doesn't matter what stage of business you're in. You can do it. We're here to help you. Come grow with us. Hey, come grow with us. Yes. All right. Okay. Well, hey, IBGR, this is great. I feel like I've been gone for like 2 years or something, and it's good. It's good to be back on No Nonsense Market Domination. First, I want to thank all of our returning listeners. Before I do that, we will once again welcome to our Twitchers who are on Twitch. So Twitch is an awesome platform. We want to thank and welcome all of our Facebookers on Build My Business Today Facebook group, All Things David Wilson, IBGR's Facebook group, and then regular plain old David Wilson's Facebook group. And then IBGR YouTube and that's right, IBGR YouTube and All Things David Wilson YouTube. So thank you all. For those of you out there watching the show, for those of you listening to the show on IBGR, thank you so much for that as well. So if you're a returning listener, watcher, welcome back. Yes. Okay. But if you're new to No Nonsense Market Domination, you're new to IBGR, this is a big step. It's a big step. Welcome to you. We are very thankful to have you. And like I always say, if it weren't for you listeners, if it weren't for you viewers, we'd still have a show. It's just nobody would be watching or listening. So anyway, and lastly, we want to thank, introduce my in-studio engineer, the one, the only, but rather ineffective, Steve Namin Euphemi. Steve, welcome. Yeah, he's here. I don't know what he does yet. Yeah, I fought for him to stay on the show, but I really don't know what his job, what his role is around here. So, all right, we actually have a show to do. Thank you to our season 5 sponsor, NutriChamps. NutriChamps is where I get all of my Savage nutrition, vitamins, minerals, cleansers, supplements, everything I get from NutriChamps.com. So go there, NutriChamps.com, NutriChamps.com, and fill up your shopping cart, and then use my code at the end, TheSavage1, TheSavage, the number 1, and you'll get discounts and free stuff and what have you, depending on how much you spend. So let's try it out. Spend like $1,000 and we'll see what kind of discount you get. No, seriously. All right, here's what's the title. There's a show going on here. The title, we're in season 5. In season 5, we are reimagining you, the business owner, reimagining you, the entrepreneur. And we've been walking down this path where we kind of started with identifying your purpose. So what is your real purpose? Then your mental health, your physical health. We looked at work-life balance. We looked at productivity. So we're reimagining everything. We're taking a different, fresh look at everything about ourselves so that we can move toward being the best versions of ourselves we can be. So I call that, I call that the asymptotic pursuit of perfection, the asymptotic pursuit of perfection. Yeah, I said asymptotic, Steve. I know you probably don't even know what that means. Got him. Sorry, that was me. An asymptote, right? It approaches zero but never gets to zero. So it approaches perfection but never gets there. So we know perfection is unattainable, but it's the mindset to pursue it, even though it is unattainable, helps us to be the best version of ourselves that we can be. And today we're going to talk about the uniform. The uniform title is Uniform Matters. So what's the uniform? Well, why does it matter? We're going to touch on 3 areas where the uniform actually makes a difference. So now when we think of uniform, I think two things usually come to mind. When I was brainstorming this and trying to figure out what I was going to say, the first 2 things were sports and sports and military, and then kind of jobs. So a job type of uniform, which is where we're going to focus our attention. But really, it's kind of the same thing. I would say I am somewhat competitive, right? Somewhat competitive. And no, I am. No, I'm pretty competitive, and I think of sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I think of business as competing. I go back to my soccer days, my wrestling days, my coaching days in athletics, and what we put on is so very it's so very important. And I'm going to tell you a story in the next segment just about that, how that affects performance. The three areas we're going to focus on. The first is the mental effect that all of this has on us. So the mental effect of the uniform. The next is the physical effect, physical outward but also physical inward. So we're going to look at how our uniform affects us physically looking out, and how our uniform affects other people physically looking in. I guess we could do that too with mental. So that there's a mental side looking in as well. So we'll touch on that in the next segment. See how I did that? So it's like it's constantly. Where's Bill? Where's Bill Easton? That's agile right there. That's what agile is, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? And then in the last segment, we're gonna talk about standing out. We're gonna talk about your signature. We're going to talk about your signature. So really, it's putting your own flair on your uniform. So I'm a big New York Mets fan, and shout out big win yesterday. Yes, this is our year. This is the year. It's actually been the year since 1962, but this year is definitely the year. And so you see, guys, there's a uniform, right? Everybody wears the same uniform, but then there's guys that wear different types of sleeves and accessories. So we're going to talk about that and the why behind that in the last segment. Does that make sense? I think it does. Clap if that makes sense. Oh, okay, good. Yeah, you got to have a sense of humor around here. All right, so awesome. So, Steve, what do we do now? Because we got like 30 seconds. Okay. So, hey, business owners, if you are in a startup and you're a solopreneur and you're having trouble getting a traditional business loan, we have a solution for you. You can go to personalloans.fundyouup.com. That's personalloans.fundyouup, funduup.com. You can check out some options on how to get personal loans to fund your startup. Personal loans, $5,000 or so to help you with your startup. So when we come back, we will launch right into the mental side. That timing is pretty daggone good. We'll see you on the other side. Savvy. All right, good set there. Beautiful. Okay, awesome. Let me know in the comments if you can hear me just nicely. All right, we got some stuff coming in from the tube. That's the cool way of saying YouTube. I know. So shout out from YouTube. Was that Anoint Ashore? Okay, thank you very much. And it appears that Anoint Ashore is also hosting on Twitch. That's great. So we thank you for that. That is good, and the sound is good. So this is awesome. Excellent. If you have any questions, just put them in the comments. I might answer them. I mean, if I get to it, I'll answer it. But I'll do my best to do that. So where are we here? Uh-oh. 1 second. And make sure you can go to all things David Wilson as well and subscribe to the podcast. And make sure you subscribe, and you can listen whenever you want. Oh my goodness, I forgot that. I gotta say that in a second. Second segment. See, it always happens. All right. So we're going to talk about. I'll mention this to you guys here. IBGR does have an app, but as always, right? The stuff I say here, is good stuff, but on the radio, it just sounds cooler, right? So you got to stick around and make sure you hear it on the radio. But we do have an app. Just go to your favorite app store, search for IBGR, and you can download the app, and you can communicate with the on-air talent on IBGR, no matter where you are, right on your phone. So we are going to be going to live in 10 seconds. Stand by, live in 10 seconds. Ooh, it's behind. All right. Welcome back to No Nonsense Market Domination. I am David Wilson, Business Savage. We are here in season 5, broadcasting all over the world. Season 5, ReImagine You. ReImagine You, the business owner. ReImagine You, the entrepreneur. So welcome back. Welcome back. I promised you we are going to get into the 3. I guess the 3, well, at least the 3 aspects we're going to discuss today on how that are affected by the uniform, So as you know, throughout the season, we've been funneling down to reimagining ourselves, and now we're looking at really our attire and how we present to ourselves, and how we present to our colleagues, our prospects, our clients, which is very important. All right, so before we dig deep into that, I want to remind you that we have an app. So we have an app here at IBGR. Oh yeah, we have an app. Go to your favorite app store and download the app. So just search for IBGR and search for IBGR and download the app. And you can listen to any of the IBGR talent anywhere you want. But I will tell you now, come real close. When you download the app, and the app is free, and this is you'll be able to have and listen to SAVVEE right in the palm of your hand, right? Yes. Everybody loves that. What? No, I'm not going to get kicked off. I'm not going to get kicked off for that. Do you think? I hope not anyway. Yeah. Okay, let's get back to the show. Just download the app, okay? Download the app. The mental side, how the uniform affects the mental, your mentality. It is, well, let me tell you the story, and then we'll dig into the ways that affects us. So as a soccer player coming up in Jersey, playing varsity, actually playing JV soccer. No, I was playing freshman, and I came up to varsity sophomore year. And we're talking about the difference between sophomore year uniforms and junior year uniforms. So our sophomore year uniforms were old and old like 1980s old. So this was 1990. So these were very old, worn out uniforms. They were outdated. And, I believe there was a difference in our play between sophomore year and junior year, aside from the fact that the uniform made a huge difference. Junior year, I remember sitting down with the coaches and looking at the new uniform scheme and designing that and picking it out and whatnot. And we completely overachieved as a team when we had those new uniforms. And I think that is not a mistake. That is not a coincidence. That's a real thing. And now we'll get into the why. Three things that the uniform affects. It affects your confidence. It affects your confidence. When you know you are prepared with the right uniform, you feel confident. It affects your certainty. So we played with a purpose. We played with intention because we felt good because we looked good, right? And then we were just happier. We were happier. Now we're talking about athletics. So that's where we started in the first segment. So let's make this about business, shall we? Yes, of course we shall. Okay, so how many people have heard of the movie The Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith, right? Okay. Playing Chris Gardner. There was a scene in the movie where he was struggling, he was building his business, and he happened to be homeless with his son. And one of the things he never did was he never allowed circumstances to kind of drive the way he felt, right? He never let the circumstances drive the way he felt, dictate the actions he took. He knew what he had to do, regardless of the reality which was he and his son were sleeping in a bathroom, in a public bathroom. And one of the things he did in this movie was, no matter what, there was one thing that was always right. And it affected how he performed mentally. And that was his clothes, especially his shirt. His dress shirt was always clean and ironed, always. And there were times when he was able to take it to the dry cleaners. There were also times, though, where he had to wash it in the sink and hang it up. If he was staying in the bathroom, if he was staying in a shelter with his son, that's what he did. But I will tell you, I think that's a very apropos illustration of how your uniform, your appearance affects you mentally, because he knew no matter what, and it took some sinew for that, but to really, and discipline to really get over all of that other stuff and still perform. But I think it made all the difference in the world. I will also say now, it's because the change we made was mental inward, right, and mental outward. I think mental outward. Yeah, we'll do that. So mental outward, like it or not, and you can write me if you want, but like it or not, this is all real stuff. So had he gone about his business with a dirty shirt, he would have been perceived differently than if he were than when he was in his clean shirt. I think that, that's just a fact. That's just a fact. And one of the big things about the game we're playing, and it's a game, and we play every day. It's one of my say. What does it say? I can't even read it. This is just a game we play every day. 2 sentences. You have to understand the rules of the game, and there's one of the rules of the game is that you should be aware of how things you do affect yourself, and you have to be aware as well as you can be of how things you do affect other people. And he was aware of that. He made sure that he did not give them, the outsider looking in, give them a reason. Does that make sense? He did not allow them to he did not give them a reason. So you're not going to get me on a dirty shirt. You're not going to get me on a suit that's not right. Even though he only had one suit, even though he only had one shirt, he was always prepared and ready to play the game, right? In the next segment, we're gonna dig into the physical side, and they're definitely related. All right, they're definitely related, and we will touch on the physical side and how mental and physical are related in the next segment. Before we go to break, if you are a small business owner and you are looking for funding, when I'm not rocking with you on the radio show, I run a funding company called Fund You Up, and we help small, mid-sized businesses get funding, both secured and unsecured, when traditional means are not available. Usually that means there's a challenge in one of 3 areas: challenge with credit, challenge with collateral, either there's no collateral, not enough collateral, there's something wrong with the collateral, or a challenge with time, either time in business or time in which the funds are needed. We can help you if you cannot get funds traditionally. Just go to fundyouup.com. That's F as in Frank, U, N as in Nancy, D as in David, UUP as in Peter.com. Click on the box in the upper right corner. It says get pre-qualified now, and see what we can do for you. All right, and pass that on to other business owners you may know. All righty, we'll come back from break and talk about the physical side. Yes. See you on the other side. Savage. All righty. Good set. Thank you for the comments, everyone. Hope you're enjoying the show. Is it pronounced Anoit Ashore? Okay, I see that. It's very, very risque, but I understand. I understand. All right. It's not that I'm at a loss for words or anything. It's just that I'll say this. It's amazing, now that you're behind the scenes and whatnot, we're off the air. It's amazing how it's not stress, but how much energy is expended doing this show. It was an eye opener for me because I'm not a podcaster. I wasn't a podcaster. I didn't have a radio show. I was a speaker, so I did some speaking and training. So I was never afraid to be in front of people or be in front of a camera or anything like that. But this is a very different experience, and it was very new. It was very new to me, and I am, it's been a great ride so far. So I like I said, I appreciate you all riding with me and riding with us here on IBGR, because it's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. So let's check on our time. It should be live in 30, I believe. Yep, live in about 30 seconds. Live in 30. Yep, live in 30. That's it. So that right there is dead air. That's not what you want. So I was like, yep, live in 30. And it's like, yep, live in 30. So we got to make sure we fill in all the air. That's radio talk. Right. Okay, here we go. Get that timing better, Steve. That was cool how I did that. Wow, okay. All right. Thank you. Welcome back, David Wilson, Business Savage, no nonsense market domination here on IBGR.Network. I was laughing because there was an effect, and I think it was an unintended effect on for our viewers on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. It was kind of this cool fade in where it was like I faded in from the darkness, and I came to the forefront. I mean, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. I'm just kidding. We intended to do that, so it's all intentional. All right. Again, welcome back to No Nonsense Market Domination. I am David Wilson, the Business Savage. We are smack dab in the middle of the Uniform Matters show, the Uniform Matters. And we've been talking about how our uniform, how our attire affects us and affects others and affects how we do what we do. I will not be the one to, and I came up how I came up, and I was taught what I said earlier. Don't give them a reason. I was taught, and that was hammered home to me, and so I don't give them a reason. So I make sure. So I know what my uniform is, and my uniform is the same every day. And we're going to talk about. I don't want to talk so much about my uniform, a little bit, but just how to put your uniform together and what it means to you, and how it affects your performance. Let's see what we have here. Oh, yes. Okay. Well, let's talk about the obvious. And this is the start of the outward. Well, let me back up and let me say this. One of the things I want to make sure you understand, and here's a nugget for you. We want to make sure we control the controllable. So there's things that we can control. There's things that we can't. And I'll give you a real life example that actually happened an hour ago, maybe an hour and 15 minutes ago. So I was standing outside my office, and you can read this as I'm saying it. I am standing outside of my office, getting some air, just relaxing, getting ready for the show. And this cat walks up to the office, and he gets out of his car, walks right by me, and he goes to the front door. I said, "Oh, hey, what are you looking for? Can I help you?" No response. It's like, okay. So he walks in and starts knocking on the door of a person I know who's not in the office, right? And I mean, he's knocking on the door feverishly. He's like, and at this point, you already walked by me. You had no intention on speaking to me. You don't want to interact with me, so I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna let you know. So I went in my office, and he's still rapping on the door. And then he goes to another door. He starts making phone calls, and and I'm thinking to myself, oh, all you had to do was just say, yes, I'm looking for, and I would have told you. Here's my point. Well, that deserves some applause. That's all he had to do, right? Are you with me? Good. Here's my point. This is not a tangent. Here's my point. Now, I have controlled everything I can control today. So so I'm wearing proper business attire is what I'm wearing right now. And if you see me, and if you're on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, or on Twitch, you might say it's a little bit more than normal business attire. I mean, it's like I look good, right? I mean, but I don't look like somebody who really doesn't know what he's talking about. See, and that's the thing. And I just LMAO when he was just knocking on the door. In other words, I controlled everything I can control. So I want you guys to understand that there's certain things you can't control. So it doesn't matter sometimes what you're wearing. If someone wants to find a reason, they will. They will find one. They'll find one about anything. They don't like fill in the blank about you, right? It doesn't make a difference. Don't ever get hung up on that, ever. Don't ever let that affect your performance. All right. So back to the formula. The top three simple things. The simplest things we can control. So you want to be neat, you want to be clean, and you want to wear something that is appropriate for your field. Now, the way I'm dressed today, suit, shirt, business shirt, button-up shirt rather, is not necessarily appropriate for maybe construction sales, where you're going to be walking on site and trying to sell tools or trying to sell construction equipment. that may not be appropriate. So you want your uniform, and it's no different than wearing hockey shoulder pads to as a baseball player. It's not appropriate. You don't need to do that. So wear what is appropriate to your field. So down here, we are broadcasting live from the capital of the South, Richmond, Virginia, USA. And down here, a big look is the khaki and polo look. So it's a look, right? So khakis and a polo shirt. I have polo shirts. I probably have a pair of khakis. Just not my look. Just not my look for my space. That'll come up in the fourth segment when we get into signatures and really making your uniform you, as we complete the reimagination. But if you follow those three, just be neat, be clean, and be appropriate for your field, you're not going to go wrong. And you want to make sure you are you're and this now we'll tie it back into the mental. So mentally and physically confident, mentally and physically happy. You're comfortable doing it, that you're going to do a good job. Ideally you want your stuff to fit. You want your stuff to fit properly. Control the controllables. My grandfather and my father both taught me how to shine shoes. My grandmother taught me how to iron a shirt. So they're all their spirits have all left their bodies, but the lessons remain, and to this day, not an issue. So I can iron a shirt and shine a shoe better than anybody because of that. And again, these are things that you can control. In my store, if you go back it might be even in last season, I told a story where I got thrown out of a business cold call. Right? So I walked in and I introduced myself, and I was dressed the same. My uniform was the same, and he threatened to call the police on me. He said I was trespassing and threw me out of the building. I couldn't control that. Right. So just focus on what you can control. The pursuit of happiness example applies here as well. So that outward view. Now, I will also say, I'll add this. I believe, and I have evidence of this. I believe that people treat you better. People want to do business with, they treat you better when you look. The more you look the part, the better they treat you. That's how we'll say it. The more you look the part, the better they'll treat you. Now, again, you're probably saying to yourself, oh, well, no, Savvy, that's not true. It's not true because of the story you just told. No, it's not always going to be true. You're absolutely right. More times than not, though, you're gonna garner the necessary respect. You're gonna garner the necessary, the appropriate level of credibility based on your uniform. Like I said, people are going to find a reason if they want to find a reason. It's like, yeah, that's a nice suit, but his head is just too big. I mean, it's just not. They'll find a reason. They'll find a reason. And then as I'm walking out after getting thrown out, I was like, I didn't want to do business with you anyway. So there you go. And that's how you get them on the back end, right? Okay. So control the controllables. Control the controllables. All right. Last segment coming up, and I'm going to show you. We're going to talk about how to stand out with a signature. So how to put that little extra into the uniform and really make it yours. And really, it speaks to your brand. It speaks to repping your brand, and that's what we want to always be doing. We're going to talk about ways of doing that. Now that we have the proper uniform on, we're ready to rep our brand. So when we come back from break, that's exactly what we're going to talk about. All right. See you in a bit. SAVVEE. All right. Not too bad. Not too bad. There's that fade in again. All right. Again, thank you all for watching on Facebook. Thank you all for watching on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Thanks again and welcome again to the Build My Business Today group. For the first time, we are broadcasting live there. So we thank you for that. We will be live in 2 minutes. Live in 2 minutes. Okay, that's pretty good timing there. So right now the commercial that's playing. So on our radio station when we're off the air, we have commercials, and it's the my commercial for the No Rejection Connection. No Rejection Connection is a script. It's a method. It's a system to connect anyone to anyone, including yourself. So connecting anybody to anybody, anywhere, for any reason, without the fear of rejection. So in this system, I teach you how to do that. I teach you how to connect yourself to anyone without ever being rejected, how to connect your colleagues to anyone, how to connect people in your networking group to anyone without the fear of being rejected. Because rejection is what really stops us from doing the things we need to do, or kind of that fear of rejection. And so I help you get rid of that fear by reframing the entire ask and turning it into help, turning it into giving. So check it out. If you're interested in that program, go to thenorejectionconnection.com. That's the No Rejection Connection.com, and you can check it out. All right, we are live in 15 seconds for our last segment. Let's have a good one. All right. Welcome back to the SAVVEE Show. I'm David Wilson, the Business Savage, here on IBGR.Network. IBGR is by entrepreneurs for entrepreneurs. We help your business no matter what stage of business you are in, from pre-startup to startup, growth to hockey stick growth to slow and steady, nice and easy. Business is going great to I want to retire. And I want to make, the incense. I want to be the incense man that sells the incense, on the street in little bottles. So I want to be that guy because my business did so well, and that's what I want to do. There's nothing wrong with that. Come grow with us. Come grow with us. Yes. Okay. Incense and the little bottles of cologne. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's good. That's a great business. Anyway, okay, let's move on. We'll keep it moving. The uniform matters. No nonsense market domination. We are reimagining you, reimagining you. I promised you, and there's going to be a big announcement in this segment, a big announcement in this segment. And it's going to be when I talk to you about my signature. And the signature on your uniform is the thing that makes you memorable. The thing that makes you memorable. Go back to your interview days. You know, I can't, it's been a while since I've been in like a job interview. But when I was in a job interview, they always told us when we're dressing, you want to be professional, but you don't want to be memorable, right? You want to be professional, but you don't want to be memorable, right? So in other words, you know, the super 150s orange suit is not appropriate for the interview, even though it's super 150, it's still orange. That's too memorable, right? You don't want to stand out like that in the job interview. But when we're business owners, we're entrepreneurs, we do that for a reason, and I think one of the perks that comes with that is we can kind of sprinkle a little bit of our own flair onto our uniforms. I think we should do that. I think we should do that. There's lots of different ways you can do it. There's lots of different ways for both men and women to do that. So we see it all the time. We see it in hats. We see it in, you know, so you see maybe a fancy hat, and you get used to seeing this guy wearing this particular hat. I've actually seen someone, like his Twitter handle was like Steve with the hat or something like that. And that was his thing. You have, I remember coming up, Sally Jesse Raphael. Sally Jesse Raphael is a talk show host. You know, Sally Jesse Raphael. There's like Sally Jesse Raphael. Who's that? But Sally Jesse Raphael was a talk show host, and she had red glasses, like these very pronounced red glasses, and that's how you knew it was Sally Jesse Raphael. People stand out with the shoes they wear. So just a fancy shoe. You know, women will have on a just a plain colored, solid colored dress with this very ornate shoe to stand out from the rest. You see it in hair. So whether it's dyeing your hair, whether it's a particular hairstyle, whether you become known for that, and it becomes part of your brand. Mr. T is a perfect example of that. You know, Mr. T, I pity the fool. You know, Mr. T. So he had, I mean, he was a black dude, a black fighting dude with a mohawk. So that kind of stands out. But when I say a fighting dude, his for fun fact, for those of you who may not know, Mr. T started, the T stands for tough, and he started in tough man competitions fighting. So in bare knuckle fighting. So that's where he got his start. But he still has, to my knowledge, a mohawk, and he uses his hair to drive his brand. You see another way. So braces. So men wear braces. Women wear them too. And what? No, not braces on your teeth. Not braces like that. I mean, I guess that could be. When I say braces, I mean what some people will call suspenders. I guess braces. Braces is like the bougie way of saying suspenders, I guess. So braces it is. But it's just a thing. You can have different color braces. You can have different styles, and you don't see them unless you open your jacket, unless you're wearing just a shirt. Or if you're wearing just a shirt, you'll see them. And my point is, all of this stuff comes together to make your signature. So I would urge all of you, if you haven't ever put any thought to this, some people might say, I don't really care. I don't really care about my image. And I guess really this is kind of about image. The Uniform Matters is an image play. I don't really care about my image. I really don't care how. And I say you should. You should care. You should care, because remember, all of this ties in. We're starting from the top, and we are reimagining our entire selves into this new being as we asymptotically pursue perfection. The perfection being the best version of ourselves, and that's what we're doing. So take a look at it. Take a look at it and really be intentional about what is your thing. Jewelry. Some people have a watch as a thing. Some people have like pearls as a thing. Some people have whatever, bracelets as a thing. Certain style of stuff. A certain type of leather on your shoe, and we can go on and on and on. Find your thing, though. Find your thing and make it your thing, and that's going to help you from a branding standpoint. And remember to be yourself. You have to. All of the stuff we talked about earlier in this show still needs to apply. We still need to feel comfortable. We still need to feel confident. Don't try to be the hat guy if you don't like wearing hats, because it's going to show. It's going to show. It's going to be evident that you're not comfortable, and you want to be comfortable. The last one I'll leave you with is a certain color palette. So some people only wear blues. Some people only wear browns, and that's intentional to build a brand. So you get it. All right. So now you're probably wondering, well, Sav, what's your signature thing? Well, my signature thing, that's easy. That's easy. And it's not so much the suit. It's not so much. I have on a pretty cool one of those flower lapel pins, and those are neat. I picked that up a couple months ago, and it's a nice touch. I never thought I would wear that, but and it looks good. But if I had to point to one thing that is my signature, and if you're on the radio, you're not going to be able to see this, but if you're watching me, you're going to see this, and it's right here. And it is. Can you hear that? Can you hear that downtown? I'm not getting word from downtown, so I don't know if they can hear me doing this, but you can certainly see me doing it. It is the pocket square. It is the silk pocket square. That is my absolute signature. You're going to watch me properly fold it and insert it into the pocket. I don't think you will ever see me without a pocket square, and you can blame two people for that. First is my grandfather, Jerry Hodge. So, and Mr. Fashion, Asbury Park, New Jersey, Carl Williams. So he had a shop down on Cookman Avenue. So why am I so excited about the pocket square? So this is my signature, but I'm excited to launch. This is amazing. I'm excited to be launching my pocket square line called SAVVVE Silks. SAVVVE Silks. Yes, I know. Yes. And we are live. What I want you to do is I want you to go to SAVVVESilks.com. So SAVVEE silks.com. Do that now, and I want you to just put your information. You click on the button, put your information in the box, so you can keep in contact when the first exclusive SAVVVE Silk is going to be released. It's for royalty. It's for you. So I can't wait to do that. I'm excited to see what you all think about it. But just share some information with me, and we'll use that information just to keep in contact with you regarding the official release of our first, and these are going to be limited edition releases, our first SAVVEE Silk. And like I said, we're excited. So that brings us to the end of our image show. As I promised, the uniform matters. Thank you for watching. I am David Wilson, the Business Savage here on IBGR.Network. No nonsense market domination. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching the SAVVEE Show. And we will see you next time. SAVVEE. All right. And scene. Yes. Awesome. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you being on and watching. Definitely. We will. I'll be here for a little bit of time as we wrap up. Let me go ahead and make sure we are fully disconnected here. All right. But thanks for being on. Check out all the stuff that I sent you. So check out the new site, SAVVEESilks.com. That's SAVVEESilks.com. Make sure you check out on the show notes that are in your attachment wherever you're watching. Except if you're watching, I don't think you'll have to go to the landing page, the IBGR landing page that I sent out. If you're on Twitch and if you're on Twitter, I just don't think the show notes are there. But everywhere else, they're there. And check everything out. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you have any comments, anything you'd like to hear. We're wrapping up season 5. We'll be done with season 5 in 2 weeks, and then we'll just blow right into season 6. I'm excited about these this pocket square line, and it's morphing. But it's in play. It's in play. So make sure you keep in contact with me. If you'll know you're at the website when you see this humongous picture of me wearing a pocket square. So you'll know you're in the right place when that happens. So again, that's SAVVEESilks.com, SAVVEE Silks, SILKS.com. Awesome. All right. Well, that's all I have for today. I appreciate you being on. Next week's show, period. Next week's show is titled what? We're going to revisit health and wellness. So we're going to talk about some more health and wellness tips, health and wellness, because we're going to start wrapping this up in a bow. This whole reimagination of ourselves, so that we can launch forward and be the best versions of ourselves we can be. So again, thank you. I am David Wilson, the Business Savage. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching the SAVVEE Show, No Nonsense Market Domination. And we will see you next Wednesday at 3 p.m. right here.